Alright, so pretty much what I'm up here is for, my opponent said that they want to rescind the prohibition of open carry. And I'm here to say that's not necessarily the idea we want to go about, okay? He said that citizens cannot protect them at the moment because they don't have open carry, right? He gave us 2 points. He said that it denies us the right to defend and it prevents crime. So pretty much I'm going to talk about self-defense real quick. Self-defense is a really ambiguous term. It ranges from someone throwing a rock at you and you're wanting to come back, and open carry will blur that line a lot. Okay. If you see a person in the park with a gun, all right, I want you to think, is that really like safe? Is that necessary? Because I will be on edge if I have my kids there and I see a guy with a gun, open gun, you know. I will not be safe. I don't want to take them to the park, right? I don't want to see the gun. Now, if weapons are open carry, they have to be unloaded. And if we see a gun on someone, we do not really know if it's unloaded or not. Okay, the magazine is hidden under the holster of their gun, so we really can't understand if that gun is unloaded or not. Okay, all it takes is one crazy person with a loaded gun for us to all be dead. He mentioned school shootings. Pretty much, that is not going to affect anything, the open carry law. If open carry were to come back, school shootings, although unfortunate, they still might happen, okay? Pretty much, there's this other law, and it's called the Gun-Free School Zones Act of 1990. And pretty much what it says that it shall be unlawful for any individual knowingly to possess a firearm that has moved in or otherwise affects interstate or foreign commerce at a place that the individual knows or has reasonable cause to believe is a school zone. So pretty much, open carry, even if it's allowed, it will still not like affect school shootings because weapons can't be allowed 1,000 yards and 1,000 feet into a school zone. Now, he said that criminals can pretty much conceal their weapon illegal, okay? And that is true, right? So if criminals can hide their weapon, why can't, citizens? I don't see how that can work only one way, not the other way. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to that second point of how how it's gonna reduce crime. And I'm gonna challenge the sources on that one because pretty much every source that I looked up had a political affiliation. One way or another, they wanted open carry weapons or they did not. And I couldn't find any good numbers except I found this one site, and it's FBI.org, which is pretty much the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And they gave me a few numbers right here. And they said that there's a couple states out there who have open carry bans already, okay? And a couple of these states are New York and Texas. They're also big states as well as California, okay? And in 2011, which was 2 years ago, Texas had 64.2%. What they had is the amount of murders that were by firearm, okay? So 64 of those murders were by firearm. New York had 57.5%, and California had 68%, which is 4% higher than Texas and almost more than 10% higher than New York, okay? Now this is a theme because in 2007 the same exact thing happened. Texas had 66.6%, New York 62.5%, and California had 71.3%, almost 10% higher than New York. Texas and New York are both states that ban open carry, and yet they have lower murder rates than California. Keep in mind that the California open carry ban started last year, okay? So California had open carry at the time, all right? Also, crime has decreased a lot recently. It's been decreasing every single year for the past at least decade, okay? This is the same site, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and they said that violent crime has reduced 15.4% in the 5-year span from 2011 to 2007. And murder has decreased at a rate of 17.4 in the same exact 5 years. Okay. In response to the studies being too ambiguous, okay, most people do studies about right to carry laws and how it reduces violent crime. And this one study, it's done by the NRC, which is the United States National Resources Council. And they said that some studies find that the right to carry laws reduced violent crime. Others find the effects negligible, and still others find that such laws increase violent crime. All these studies, they find different results, and pretty much they found 3 things that they pretty much couldn't conclude that there's no scientifically supported conclusion. Alright, so I'm gonna go into a criminal's mind real quick, and I'm gonna go down the street with my concealed weapon, and if open carry were to occur, and I see a person with a gun on them, I'm not gonna go rob the person with the gun on them. I'm gonna go look to my right and see the person without the gun and go rob them instead. I'm not gonna actually rob someone, obviously, because that's illegal, but if I were a criminal, I would obviously choose to rob someone that's not armed. I know you guys remember the shooting in Aurora, Colorado. It's the Batman Theater shooting. And in Colorado, they allow open carry. So what happened is this guy comes in with a bunch of assault rifles. Open carry is allowed, right? So it's kind of okay for people to be walking around with assault rifles. And no one thought anything until a bunch of people started dying. If open carry was not allowed, someone walking around with assault rifles near a theater would probably not, it would raise suspicion. I would not want to go to that theater if someone was walking around with assault rifles. And that's all I got. Thank you.